Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to Phatkat Collections. What do we have in the watch roll today? And today I'm sharing with you guys another Nubeo watch. Now I have two in here. We're going to talk about Nubeo's newest release, and I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. This one is super cool. So what do we have here? Now, if you're not familiar with Nubeo, they're constantly pushing the boundaries of unique, and I think that this is a company that, you know, I've said it before, they sort of build collectors. Like people who buy a Nubeo, they want to have other Nubeos. And it's kind of like what Invicta's been able to do. People collect Invictas. And there's not a lot of brands that really people do that. Like even some of their other partner companies or their other brands under their like Dartmouth branding or Dartmouth parent company, like Spinnaker. If you buy a Spinnaker watch, you might buy another, right? You might like the quality, say, I want to get something in a different color. But Nubeo, it's like people almost want to buy each watch. And that's why all their watches are limited edition. This one will not last. It is super unique. And the glow on this, the Lume, I'm not going to show you a Lume shot because I don't think I have, I don't have a black light here. And it's hard to do that in this room. But again, links in description. Check out the product page. Get this while you can. I don't think this is going to last. So let's check this out. Super unique timepiece. If you are into timepieces that just kind of really just are not standard. Like my dad, I showed my dad this. He was like, no, not for me at all. And I totally respect that. Not everybody's going to like everything. But if you like a watch that is super unique and tells time differently, and they are reinventing the wheel, so to speak, then Nubeo really knocks it out of the park. They've done something similar in the past with their Skylab automatic, and I've seen other companies kind of do something similar. Just think of this as a totally different way of telling time. It is not your standard clock, right? It's not your standard, 12-hour round clock. It's, you basically tell time with these watches on the lower portion. So basically by covering this like this, this is the part of the watch you tell time. The rest is just really for show. And what's really awesome about this, they sort of took the same style of movement in the Skylab, and they just integrated like these three, I think they're like globes. We'll read more about it, but check this out. Now, of course, when you're wearing the watch, it's going to turn very, very slow, right? So you're not really going to notice this, but I mean, isn't that cool? So each one of these globes, I'm going to call them globes, flips around. And what you do is when you're telling time on this, again, you have the zero right here, 0 minutes, and then 60 minutes. And so you're basically telling time from the zero portion right here. So as you turn, for instance, right when this first globe hits that 0, you are on right now, it would be 5 o'clock. Let me just show you, folks. So we got 5 o'clock, right? So as the hour advances, is that 5? Oops, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. So we have 5 o'clock. You can see 0, 5:10. Is it 5? Yeah, sorry. 5:10. Get this to focus here. Come on, baby. All right. 5:30, 5:40, and as we get closer to that 60-minute mark, you are going to look back to the 0. Now it's 6. 6:10, 6:30, and 7. We jumped to 7 over here. So it's just a different style of telling time, but it is super unique, and it's an automatic self-winding movement. It does have an exhibition window in the back, which is, again, it's a very interesting watch to look at, very interesting shape. Check that out. I love that they did. This is totally different for Nubeo. Normally they put like kind of a, sort of like a stick figure of the representation of what they're theming. I love this. This almost reminds me of like a set of Antero wheels from back in the day, the Opus 1s. I still have a set of 3 stars. The, I forget what are they called. I can't think of it. I have 20-inch 3 stars I used to have in my Honda. And I used to love that wheel. So this is just very cool. It doesn't, I don't think it necessarily means anything. It just kind of replicates sort of like the 3 globes that we have on the face of the watch. But I think it's a great addition. It kind of reminds me of stuff like Invicta used to do with like kind of like that furnace blue lattice. Or on the Sea Hunter, they had the big propeller. I much prefer this style of back, where you can still see the movement, but you have this awesome just design in there, right? Which kind of takes the theme from the front of the watch to the back of the watch. Very cool. Very bubble-ish kind of shape, right? It's a big, kind of very smooth rectangle. It is very unique. And for me to say that, you know, I have a lot of watch in the collection, and, you know, I have almost 500. It's even for Nubeo, they've done some crazy designs, and for them to keep pushing the boundaries, it just says a lot about the innovation. So let's talk a little about the specs, right? So it's a visual spectacle. As captivating as the cosmos itself, with the heart of this timepiece lies in a custom-engineered wandering hour complication. Unlike traditional time displays, the 3 dome-shaped hands emulate stars in orbit, each sculpted with surface textures reminiscent of celestial bodies, revolving dynamically around the central carousel to mark the passage of time. Very cool story on this one. Like it. I think this is where, like, the description of theme really ties well with what you get with the watch. The lume on this is awesome as well. I wish you guys could see this, but click the link in the description, look at the pictures. We have lume. This whole portion of the back here, this Tri-Star, is skinned with lume. We have lume on the side of the case. We have lume on the other side of the case. And then on the front of the watch, each one of these indices, all the lettering, all the dials on this glow. 2 different colors, green and like a darker blue and an aqua. It looks like 3 different colors. Very cool. This watch is going to really, I don't know if you can, damn man, I should have really, let me see if I can charge it up a little. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but yeah, you're not really going to be able to see this by the camera, but maybe a little bit. You kind of get a very rough idea. It is a killer piece, and I am, you know, I first saw this, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to like that, but I'll throw it on the channel, I'll review it, because somebody will. I totally dig it, and I'm going to wear this one today. So let's talk specifications. We have a 3-hand automatic. I think this is NH35, but I can't really, let me look at the rotor. No, I think this is probably a Miyota, but again, they don't list it. I'm sorry. It just says Japanese automatic 3 hands. It is stainless steel. It is plated, this particular version, with probably like some sort of black IP coating. 46 millimeter case diameter. Case size. We have 20 millimeters of case thickness. It is a very tall, thick watch. Obviously, we have a black dial color on this, and it is sort of skeletonized as well. You can sort of see down into the watch. There's a lot going on with this. Anti-reflective coated crystal. Now, it is not sapphire, but it is domed. It is a very smooth-looking watch. 20 millimeter black rubber strap. And this is proprietary to the watch. If you damage this, I don't know how you would replace this. I don't see any kind of pins. It almost looks like this is probably attached under the case back. And that is always a concern for me. You know, you just wonder, you know, what the longevity is going to be like 20 years down the road. So hopefully, you know, rubber and silicone, hopefully it stands the test of time, but time will tell. Watch weight, 168 grams, 5 ATMs of water resistance. We have printed indexes with Swiss Super Luminova. Very cool watch. I mean, it is very innovative of Nubeo to keep like pushing the boundaries here, and they really did a great job. It kind of reminds me, although this is a real stretch, you know, like Jacob and Company watches, they do like that with like the astronomy or something like that, or Astronoma. You know, it is a very tough looking, well built watch, and it has that. I think this one is just a great representation of a watch that is themed well, right? It just screams like Nubeo. Like some of the Nubeos, if I were to say, like the Magellan, I love the Magellan, I have like 8 of them. If I were to say, hey, this is Nubeo, they're a space themed for the most part. They do some sea themed watch as well. But if I show you this and I say, yeah, this is space themed, you're automatically gonna be like, yeah, I can see that. And I love when they're able to really make a watch that really kind of emulates, or kind of, I don't know, just kind of represents their brand very well. Now, if you're not familiar with Phatkat Collections, I'm doing 2 different styles of video review. The standard format, like I've been doing for a decade now, and of course the up close and personal series of each watch. So for those who don't like to look at this, you know, this mug, and you only want, and I get that, right? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, for those folks who just really, because I hear a lot of times they're like, hey, we want to see the watch more. So, to make some of you happy, I went ahead and I'm gonna do 2 different versions of the video. Standard format and then watch only. So and the reason I'm doing that is because if you are looking to maybe make a purchase, and you may not like my style, right? And I don't want that to turn you off and for you to have you not be able to take advantage of these awesome watches, right? Because if you watch me and you're just like, ah, he didn't show the watch, and then you just give up, maybe you would have bought it if you would have saw just how cool the watch is, like under macro, only the watch. So I hope that makes sense. Let's throw it on the wrist. So I am 5'8", I weigh 180 pounds. I have a 7-inch wrist, and this is what it's going to look like on a guy my size, my height, and my weight. I mean, it's still a big watch. Like, it definitely is noticeable. And this is kind of, you know, I chose the black version because I do have a lot of colorful watches in different models and different brands. So I wanted something just, I don't have a lot of black watches. And the reason for that is I feel like black watches are kind of just, you know, personally, it's my opinion, kind of boring. They all kind of look like a G-Shock. So when you have a black watch, and I've been saying this for years too, it needs something to kind of set it apart where it doesn't just look like a standard boring black watch. This definitely does that. I mean, when you look at this, you're just, I mean, there's just so much going on with it. It's begging for a conversation about it, you know. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe to the channel. Check out the other video for the up-close and personal video. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I respond to every comment, and I'll do my best to answer them. So thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day, and take care.